Welcome to Open History channel. Be sure to subscribe and like so you don't miss out on more video like this one.
The modern Samson, illustrated in 1906 by William Balfour Kerr, uses the biblical Samson to symbolize exploited American workers, portraying laborers as restrained giants whose collective strength threatened industrial power. Painted around 1513 by Quentin Massys, The Ugly Duchess rejects ideal beauty, confronting viewers with satire, aging, and distortion, blurring the line between social critique, realism, and empathy. On August 2, 1943, John F. Kennedy led survivors of PT-109 after a Japanese destroyer sank it, swimming for hours, towing the wounded, and refusing to leave a single man behind. Revealed in 2018, the Dragon Man's skull from Harbin was first hailed as a new human ancestor. Later, genetic and protein evidence linked it to Denisovans, showing it was not a missing link, but a fully human population already known. Brigitte Bardot is captured during a ballet class in Paris in the 1950s, before global fame. Trained in classical dance, her discipline and poise shaped the grace that later defined her screen presence. Major George Preddy's P-51 Mustang, Cripe a Mighty III, is seen in combat during World War II. Preddy became the top P-51 ace with 26 victories, before dying from friendly fire on Christmas Day, 1944. Excavated in 1928 on Peru's Paracas Peninsula, over 300 elongated skulls stunned researchers. Though once blamed on head binding, unusual size and later DNA tests kept debates alive about who the Paracas people truly were. Premiered in 1975, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest became legendary through the clash of Jack Nicholson and Louise Fletcher, turning power, rebellion, and control into cinema history. Soldat und Tod, painted in 1917 by Austrian artist Hans Larwin, depicts the haunting presence of death looming over soldiers during the turmoil of World War I. Paulino Uzkudun, the Basque woodchopper, shown around 1930, built his legendary strength through years of stone lifting and logging before rising as a heavyweight boxer. Ensign Jane Candy Kende, just 22, bravely loaded wounded soldiers onto her C-47 under fire at Iwo Jima, saving hundreds in one of World War II's fiercest battles. John Finn received the Medal of Honor for his bravery at Kaneohe Naval Air Station during the 1941 Pearl Harbor attack. Fact: despite 21 wounds, he was the first and eventually the oldest living recipient from World War II. Hyder Ali rose from soldier to ruler of Mysuru after a coup and allied with the French against the British East India Company. Fact: a 1781 French print of him mistakenly labeled him as a Maratha leader instead of the Sultan of Mysuru. Gilberto Shedden found a wounded American crocodile in 1989 and nursed it back to health, proving trust can grow between humans and wild animals in the most unexpected ways. A 1947 passport ID card features a golden blonde Rita Hayworth at the height of her fame. Fact: the actress was naturally a brunette and famously dyed her hair red for several film roles before going blonde in the late 1940s. Father Aquinas Colgan died in 1945 while rescuing a medic during the Philippines campaign, defying orders to stay safe. Fact: He was found with his arms around the soldier he tried to save and was posthumously awarded the Distinguished Service Cross. In 1923, a one-legged German veteran of World War I begs on a street in Berlin. Fact: severe hyperinflation in the Weimar Republic made the pensions of over 4 million war-disabled practically worthless. Alice Roosevelt Longworth, first daughter in 1901, shocked Washington with her laughter, cigarettes, car races, and bold mischief, turning the White House into a stage for daring fun. In 1862, the aurora borealis lit the sky over the frozen dead at Fredericksburg, appearing red as blood to witnesses on the field. Fact: Confederate soldiers saw the rare lights as a divine omen of victory. Around 1900, Minnie Touche Pip Penn and Slim Tebow, a proud Comanche man from Oklahoma, are captured in a photo showing the culture's rich traditions, attire, and decorative ear piercings. On November 9, 1989, the Berlin Wall fell, ending decades of division and heralding the close of the Cold War as the Soviet Union would dissolve 2 years later. Ruth Malcolmson was crowned Miss America in 1924, defeating the previous two-time winner Mary Catherine Campbell. Fact: she later described the pageant as a great experience and retired from show business. Brigitte Bardot. While Hollywood begged for her return, Brigitte Bardot focused on saving animals like a soft-spoken John Wick. Fact: she walked away from her film career in 1973 to become a dedicated animal rights activist. Battle-hardened Marines show off their recently acquired war trophies as they are taken off the line in Cape Gloucester. Fact: the Cape Gloucester campaign in 1943 took place in a dense jungle with some of the worst weather in the Pacific. In 1864, the Battle of Cedar Creek ended Confederate control of the Shenandoah Valley after a dramatic Union rally. Fact: Philip Sheridan rode 11 miles to reach the field and turn a morning retreat into a decisive afternoon victory. A timeless glamour shot captures the iconic actress Lauren Bacall, radiating elegance and the classic allure of Hollywood's golden age. WWII veterans bearing severe injuries from the front gather for a quiet dinner in Paris, 1925, a solemn reminder of the human cost of war. General Cornwallis surrenders to American and French forces at Yorktown, Virginia on October 19, 1781, marking a decisive turn in the American Revolutionary War. Robert Wadlow, the tallest man in history, is seen here with his family in 1935 when he was 17 years old. Fact: at his death, he reached 8 feet 11 inches due to hypertrophy of his pituitary gland. Spanning 130 years, these images show an Australian river red gum tree shaped by indigenous people into a canoe tree. Fact: the scars left by sustainable bark harvesting allowed the tree to live and thrive for over a century after the bark was removed. Shakira, at the start of her career in 1992, already showed glimpses of the talent that would make her an international music icon. Andre the Giant struggled with severe back pain during The Princess Bride, often relying on 5-foot-tall stunt double Tony. Fact: Andre's condition, acromegaly, caused his body to continue growing, eventually leading to the congestive heart failure that claimed his life in 1993. In 1910, Oskar Telgman photographed the 1st Life Hussars, an elite Prussian cavalry unit, before an imperial parade in Danzig. Fact: their distinctive Totenkopf skull and crossbones insignia symbolize their loyalty and readiness to die for the crown. During the Battle of Britain in 1940, pilot Beatrice Schilling solved a critical Spitfire flaw with a simple fuel restrictor, keeping fighters flying and saving countless lives. Sher Shah Suri rose from nothing to build a strong empire in India, creating fair governance, the Silver Rupiah, and the Grand Trunk Road, leaving a legacy that shaped the subcontinent. Queen Mary died on March 24, 1953, but insisted that her death must not postpone Queen Elizabeth II's coronation, scheduled for June 2. Fact: known for her unwavering devotion to duty, Mary survived 6 reigns and the abdication of her own son, Edward VIII. On Hackney Marshes in London, 101 football games were played in 1962, showcasing the city's passion for grassroots football and community sports. Eastman Johnson's painting The Wounded Drummer Boy captures a heroic youth at Antietam, 1862, drumming despite injury, symbolizing bravery amid the chaos of America's bloodiest battle. On July 1, 1916, the British Army suffered over 57,000 casualties in a single day at the Battle of the Somme. Fact: after months of fighting and 300,000 deaths, the Allies gained only 6 miles of land. In 1955, Marilyn Monroe held a press conference to announce the launch of Marilyn Monroe Productions. Fact: she was the 2nd woman in history to start her own production company to gain more control over her career. Teen parties in the 1950s were simple joys: trays of cookies, dancing and friends, no smartphones, no social media, just fun and laughter. Around 1900, gold miners descended into the Empire Mine in Grass Valley, California. Fact: one of the deepest and longest-running gold mines in the U.S., its shafts eventually reached depths of over 11,000 feet. Captured in 1941, Soviet prisoners of war endure harsh conditions in a German camp, a stark reminder of the human cost of World War II. In 1968, Miss Universe of Yugoslavia poses beside a MiG-21 fish bed at an airbase, blending glamour with the might of the Yugoslav Air Force. The Harlem Hellfighters spent 191 days in frontline trenches, more than any other American unit, and suffered 1,500 casualties. Fact: they were assigned to the French army because many white American units refused to fight alongside them. In 1867, Flora Stewart, aged 117 and once enslaved, is celebrated as New Hampshire's oldest resident in this striking studio portrait. A young couple shares a classic moment drinking cokes during the 1940s, a scene that became an iconic symbol of American wartime culture. Fact: During WWII, Coca-Cola was exempt from sugar rationing to boost the morale of troops stationed overseas. Eoru, Moment of Decision by Medal of Honor. Recipient Julian Scott depicts bravery as he rescued wounded soldiers under fire during the Civil War. Władysław Forbert's 1945 documentary captures the brutal siege of Kołobrzeg, a key Baltic port during the final months of World War II. Fact: the intense 10-day battle left nearly 90% of the city in ruins before it was captured by Polish and Soviet forces. During the Vietnam War, Operation Wandering Soul used eerie recordings of lost soldiers to scare Viet Cong troops into abandoning their positions. In 1864, Admiral Farragut allegedly cried, "Damn the torpedoes! Full speed ahead!" during the Battle of Mobile Bay. Fact: historians believe this iconic quote actually merged two separate orders, given amidst the deafening noise and thick smoke of combat. Before his infamous crimes, Hermann Göring was a WWII fighter ace with 22 victories, earning the Blue Max. Fact: he began the war in the trenches as an infantryman, but transferred to the air service after contracting rheumatism in the freezing mud. The Colt .45 revolver was originally developed in the late 19th century to confront Moro tribesmen in the Philippines during American colonial campaigns. Judy Garland poses for an MGM Thanksgiving promotional photo in 1938, already showing the charm that would make her a Hollywood legend. On Sept 17, 1862, the 9th New York Zouaves charged during the Battle of Antietam, the bloodiest single day in U.S. history. Fact: known for their bright red uniforms, the unit suffered 63% casualties while attacking Confederate positions at Sharpsburg.
Thanks for watching. Got an idea for a forgotten era I should explore? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to make it.